Hey guys, this is Dennis, the founder of T.R.A.C.K.S.
And I'm David Griffin, your resident comic book and video game guru.
And this is our review for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Episode 13.
T.R.A.C.K.S.
With the periods between.
Yeah, I'm not going to do all that. Yeah. That's
So, along with, our review of Almost Human, which I said was like the best episode so far, I think this was the best episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so far.
Yeah.
And I like it because it kind of does all the stuff that fixes all the problems, not all the problems, but some of the problems that we were talking about. I mean, now it's a storyline with characters that they've talked about in the past and they've built up. It's not an episodic thing.
Yeah,
also, I felt like there was actually real danger for the characters and actually found some of the dialogue to be humorous.
Yeah, I mean, there were some good moments. I know you said this is one of your favorites, and I've heard other people say this is like the best episode of the season. There are some good moments. It was nice seeing Mike again. I'm glad Mike's back. We'll get to that all stuff in the end. But it was a little better. If anything, to show me that Ming-Na, Agent May, needs her own TV series. She's just go lone agent. I would watch that just all week. I like that because the one thing I did like they developed this last, I guess, 4 or 5 episodes is her relationship. With Agent, what's his
Ward.
Ward, yeah, Agent Ward. And I like that they kind of went into that a little bit more, the complexity about that. She's so hard and cold sometimes, but and Ward's like, it's like, hey, let me go with you, trying to like be with her and everything. So I like some of the moments here. Still, there was danger. I don't know if I cared about the danger though. And again, that's just for me not caring about the characters.
I think you're lost.
I think I'm done. I'm glad, Dennis, because a lot of you guys have been getting on us about, why even reviewing the show, you don't look happy. Look, I'm smiling. I'm energetic right now. I don't like the episode, but I'm energetic about it and happy. But it's good to hear that. I'm glad that you enjoyed this episode. So now we have something to talk about.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping it's a turning point.
Right,
Yeah. I hope that, but I've said that before in other episodes, but I do think this is the strongest episode so far. I think they've built on some of the stuff. I think they just took their time. I mean, really took their time.
13 episodes is a long time.
Yes, to get to one good episode.
Right.
Where they've taken some of the stuff in the past, like with the Mike character, and developed him, and then this what's like a billionaire guy, Quinn.
Yeah, right. That Sky was supposedly working with, or and all that.
And I think some of the relationships too. I mean, you have Mai and Ward, but you also have Mai and Coulson. You have Coulson and Sky and May. Like
drama.
Fitz and Sky. Like you can tell Fitz has
Fitz and Simmons.
Fitz has an attraction to Sky, and Simmons has attraction to Ward, and like so I feel like this episode was able to build on that. I also like that we got to see the different perspectives from all the different characters, and I just thought it was a well done episode. It's not a great episode, but it was good, and I think it was definitely the best one they've had so far.
Yeah, to give the show credit, this episode was creative. I guess we should probably just segue into the juicy parts of this, and that is the ending. Spoilers. So we may be getting Deathlock.
Yeah, looks like it.
They got to compete with, C-Dub. Arrow has Deathstroke. This show's going to have Deathlock. You got to compete with it. I am glad Mike's back. Seeing Mike made me happy. I'm glad that he's going to be a part of the show.
Also, because they spent so much time with him in other episodes, it's like, look, you got to go somewhere with this character. Otherwise, you're just wasting our time.
Right.
And so I think they already had that plan in place. I'm not saying that they just figured it out. They had the plan in place. They just took a long time to get there.
And I think that's the thing. Marvel has such a huge universe. It seems like the show has almost been scared of grabbing from that universe because of the cinematic universe that just dominates everything. Whereas Arrow doesn't really have that problem because DC's just all over the place. They don't know what the heck they're doing. So Arrow can hey, let's take this person, just throw them in there and see what happens. I feel like with this episode, with the whole Deathlock scenario, they're actually starting to do that. They're like, hey, we have all these characters. Hey, some of these guys don't have to be in the movie. Let's put Deathlock in our story. So I hope they do more of that as the series goes on.
I just don't know why.
They waited, like you said, they waited too long to do this.
I don't understand, but just not for this series. For a lot of series, Fringe is an awesome science fiction series. It took almost 2/3 of a season
You had
to get started.
You had to convince me to keep watching it because I kind of gave up after the first 5 or 6 episodes. You're like, no, keep going, and I did, and I ended up loving it.
So I don't know why there's this mentality in especially in network television versus cable television.
You have to get such high ratings.
Like why? Yeah, but the thing is, they ultimately hurt their show.
Yeah,
because look at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now. Okay, let's say they finally have it. Hypothetically, this is a good episode,
right?
And they turn things around, and from now on, they just build on it. It gets better and
Half
better.
of their initial audience is gone.
Like
They're
exactly,
gone.
You lost all these people because you put out crappy episodic stuff before, and this has happened time and time again with other shows. Like, I don't know why they have this mentality of, well, we just got to make sure that we build this episodic thing, and so that the casual viewer can watch it, and then they can get hooked. It's like, no, that doesn't hook people.
No.
What hooks people is overarching storylines, characters they can care about, all these things that they can build on if they do it right from the beginning. Think about shows that start right from the beginning. Did Breaking Bad go, oh, let's make it episodic?
That would, I mean, and two, it's like, I think shows worry, again, even with Almost Human does this at times, not as badly as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but they just play it so safe.
Yeah.
It's like, you can be geeky. I was just out of curiosity. I know TV's changed over the years with DVR and Blu-ray and all, but I mean, I did some research. Star Trek: The Next Generation averaged 13.5 million viewers. Like, that's crazy number. I know people kind of watched more shows back then, but still, it's like, that's a lot of numbers. I think you can be geeky. You can have Borgs and weird phasers and set to stun and engage. I mean, you can be geeky. You don't have to be safe and attract people. If it's good, people will watch it. Game of Thrones is kind of weird. People love Game of Thrones. It's a weird show.
And it's not episodic.
And it's not episodic.
Right when the show starts, you're like, who's that? What are they doing? I don't understand. Da, 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 da. And then by a few episodes, you get into it.
And I never like hearing, and I know this is just how it works in the industry. It's like people are like, oh, just wait. It's going to get good. I'm like, why can't it be good now? Why can't it be engaging now? I want it good now. And this show, like I said, this episode, I'll give it credit. It was better. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's too late for me. I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know. It might be too late.
I think your heart is.
It's hard. I'm just looking. I'm just sitting when I'm watching this. So I'm just sitting there like. I refuse to watch this show. Yeah.
I thought there was funny dialogue between Coulson and Simmons, doing the whole father-daughter. How Simmons pretended she had this whole backstory, how her mother died, and. The
American accent was funny when he was
exactly
that was funny,
between Sky and So I thought it was definitely. I think this episode, if this had been like I said with Almost Human, you take this episode, you put it earlier on, third, fourth episode.
I might have been into it then.
Exactly.
Wouldn't be so mean and grumpy about the show.
And I honestly think that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. even if it keeps on getting better, that they've already lost so much of their audience and created this impression of being a bad show.
It's going to be hard for them to get that audience back. I just don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah. So.
Well, hey. So that was another episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, so I'm looking a little more forward to the next one than I usually am. And if they can build on that, then I can keep getting more excited about it. But let's see what happens.
And I'll continue to watch it each week, sitting down with the big, grumpy look on my face, just snarling at the TV. No, I am trying to keep an open mind, and I did enjoy this episode more than I have a few of the others.
So what do you guys think? Let us know if, is it too late for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Did this episode turn it around for you, or were you already liking it anyways? And what do you think is going to happen in the future? You can post your comments on the website, thinkhero.com, and on our YouTube channel, Think Hero Pro. Make sure to subscribe to that.
Also, come chat with us on Twitter. Talk to Dennis, Michael, and myself. All former or current, still current comic book readers. So let us know, what do you think of the comics? What could the show learn from the comics? What is it doing better than the comics? Is it secretly the best show on television? Please let us know that at Think Hero. I'm at Griffin DE.
And we also have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/ThinkHeroFans. Make sure you like that page and share our videos on Twitter and everything else.